In 1997, the world was introduced to what would later become the most successful adult cartoon of all time. Whether you're a fan or not, I can guarantee you've seen or heard of South Park at some point in your lifetime. It started off with two friends and a passion project, making cartoon characters out of cardboard cutouts. 325 episodes later, it would be labeled a billion-dollar franchise. There's a popular saying, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. For example, people often claim Family Guy was inspired by The Simpsons, Digimon inspired by Pokemon, and Johnny Test inspired by Dexter's Laboratory. Here in North America, we have Stan, Kyle, Cartman, and Kenny who reside in the town of South Park, whereas halfway across the planet, they have Hamoud, Azuz, Abood, and Saloom who reside on Block 13. In this case, I don't see a cartoon that was inspired by another. This looks like a blatant ripoff, and I'm not even sure how they were legally able to get away with it. The art style, the main characters, the bus stop, they go to school where they have a f***ed up teacher, and they even stole the infamous kick the baby gag.
Ready, Ike? Kick the baby!
Don't kick the baby.
Kick the baby!
So, grab a snack, kick back and enjoy as we examine one of the most flagrant cartoon clones ever made. I'd like to welcome you all to Block 13.
بس بابا لا يسوي قرقر واجد والله.
South Park was created by Trey Parker and Matt Stone. The two met at the University of Colorado when they happened to land in the same film class. Trey and Matt would go on to create two cartoon shorts titled Jesus vs. Frosty and Jesus vs. Santa. It looked incredibly amateur as they had no budget and were forced to create scenes solely with cardboard cutouts. After Comedy Central acquired the rights to the IP, the world would never be the same again. At first glance, South Park looks like just another children's cartoon. But if you were to watch a few minutes, you would quickly understand this was strictly for adults.
So was the horror of Vietnam. The end. Are there any questions? Yes, Mr. Garrison?
Yes, where the f*** did you hear this ridiculous load of bullshit?
The art direction, mature themes, and shock humor propelled this show into a stratosphere no one could have expected. Right around the year 2000, South Park was airing season 4 with notable episodes like Do the Handicapped Go to Hell, Cartman Joins Nambla, and Fat Camp.
When I was in prison, we used to sneak stuff in by hiding it up our ass.
I've got some fudge hidden up my ass, you want some?
Yeah, I'm not falling for that one again.
Success often breeds imitations, so at the exact same time on the opposite side of the globe, they were airing this.
باكر 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 صار له اسبوع يقول باكر.
انت البطه افتح ايدك ابي اطقك.
بس صالح انا ما سويت شيء ولا تقولي البطه.
Block 13 was created by Nawaf Salem Al-Shamari and it derives from the country of Kuwait. It debuted on November 27, 2000 and it ran for 3 seasons amounting to 46 episodes. The show revolves around 4 first graders, Hamoud, Azuz, Saloom, and Abood. This here, this is Abood's little sister, Faruha. She gets treated like shit and is physically abused in almost every episode for our entertainment.
ماما ابوي بالذات بس وياخذ هذا الشاي ويشوت.
Similar to South Park, the boys use coarse language, but it's toned down a lot. To make the show more family-friendly, the most offensive thing you'll hear is the word ass, as in fat ass, when referring to Abood, of course. So, the guys wait at the bus stop, like South Park, get picked up by a wacky bus driver, like South Park, then arrive at school and have to endure a day with an insane teacher, just like a show called
All right, smartass.
The kids go on a different wacky adventure every episode, mostly involving their school teacher, Mr. Saleh. Now, this guy here is a fucking mess. One of his friends didn't take school serious, skipped classes, and relied on cheating. He went on to become the head of the chemistry department in a high school. Mr. Saleh is understandably disgruntled. He's jaded because he worked hard all his life, got a degree in philosophy, and after all that, they have him teaching rude first grader kids.
شو ما سويت شيء؟ تخفي معلومات سرية خطيرة عن المدرس وتقول ما سويت شيء. يلا اعترف يلا يا شاطر.
As you can tell from the aforementioned clips, this show was not in English. It's fully in Arabic, and most of the voices are pitched up to an octave that leaves the characters sounding like Animal Crossing creatures.
وانت يا زعيم ترى ما قلت لنا كم مرة سافرت بحياتك؟ أنا من عمري 40 يوم رحت مع أهلي لندن ومن يومها وإحنا كل صيف نروح هناك.
As of today, no English dub exists, so I had to scour the internet for translations. So I'm gonna do my best to convey the plot as accurately as possible as I don't speak Arabic. Now, this rip-off of a show kicks off with the intro song. To my surprise, it sounds nothing like South Park's theme song. It's actually pretty original. I had no idea what they were saying, so I had to look it up. It translates to Block 13, full of mess, full of trouble, or something along those lines. If I'm being honest, it's kind of catchy. Then we get into an episode. A news report announces it's Teachers' Day, the day where everyone must go out and buy their teachers a gift to reward them for the stress they go through by raising bad children every year. The boys arrive at school when a jelly-belly woman named Miss Atiyat is their teacher for the day. She announces Mr. Saleh got into an accident and was admitted to the hospital, so the boys decide to visit him. Mr. Saleh awakens in the hospital. His body is mangled, so he begs to go home to die with his family by his side. Pretty f***ed up. The boys arrive, and Abood is disguised as an adult for some reason. They comfort Saleh, then ask exactly how he injured himself. Apparently, he was on his rooftop installing an illegal satellite dish when he plummeted several stories.
علشان كذي وانا صاعد فوق جيت امسع الواير فمسعت الحديدة كلها وطحت.
But nothing happened. He survived the fall without a scratch. The fall did break his ladder though, so on his way to buy a new one, he was startled by a black cat. Nah, but nothing happened. The stairs didn't harm him. He then noticed he was late for school. Unfortunately, his car broke down, so he started pushing it when he fell into an open manhole. Don't you just hate when that happens? But nothing happened. He was fine and never felt better actually, aside from smelling like complete shit. He then went home to shower the foul stench away when he slipped on a bar of soap.
بس ما صار شيء.
شلون ما صار شيء؟ ما تشوفوني معلق بحبال وسلاسل مقطوط بهالمستشفى الخايس هذا؟
The more episodes you watch, you kind of learn to appreciate the style of humor. It's unpredictable. It doesn't take itself too serious. It's just wacky shit that's fun. It's also kind of cool how they're authentic and cover issues that are relative to their location. There's an episode where all the kids are supposed to be fasting for Ramadan, but Cartman, Abood, can't stop eating cake and candy. So everyone makes fun of him, his friends, the local bullies, and you think the teachers would take a mature approach to the situation. Nope. Even they make fun of the little piggy.
اللهم اني صايم يا اولاد اللي بيشترك فريق كرة القدم يمرني بالفرصة عشان اسجل اسمه ما عدا هالبوتمبه خليه يروح يشترك مع اصدقاء المقصف احسن له.
In another episode, internet cafes have become popular on Block 13. The boys are busy accessing prawn sites, while the other kids and teachers are using IRC to chat amongst each other. Mr. Saleh and the buffet queen, Miss Atiyat, end up catfishing each other, which starts an ongoing romance in the storyline. Just when I thought things couldn't get any weirder, I bumped into episode 13. It's Friday the 13th, and the news is covering an incredibly important issue: the effects of scary movies on children. Abood changes the channel to put on a Bollywood ripoff of the Jason movies. His brain gets warped and he slips into the wildest trip imaginable. He gets to school where Mr. Saleh has become a mad scientist. He turns Hamoud into a turtle, he turns Azuz into a goat, and then he turns Saloom into a crab, then tries to eat them. Abood has seen enough of the madness and gets the fuck up out of there. The careless fatso falls down a sewer where he sees an electrode, haunter, and golem. That's what I'm talking about with this show. anything goes. Then, to pay homage to the famous Halloween episode of The Simpsons, Abood is transferred to a three-dimensional world. Moments later, he's abducted into space where he sees his little sister, who has an important message. She squishes him, resulting in his untimely death, which awakens him from the horrible dream. And it was at this point I started to realize, this show really isn't that bad. The wacky adventures continue right up until season 2. That's when the boys move up to the 2nd grade and my favorite character gets introduced. This is Honey. He moved from America to Block 13 in hopes of living a better life. I compare him to Craig from South Park.
Well, I tell you what, young man, you're gonna be held back a grade if you don't Did you just flip me off?
No.
The only difference is, instead of giving everyone the middle finger, Honey displays his sassy attitude by saying whatever to everyone.
زين طيارتك كانت دايركت ولا ترانزيت مو 6 ساعات؟
whatever. بعدين أمي ولدتني بروحها وبعد 6 سنوات صار عمري 6 سنوات. whatever.
Now that we've gotten to my favorite character, let me take a second to shine some light on my favorite episode. Who would have thought? I'm even starting to love that damn theme song. Okay, so the episode starts off with Saloom getting killed. Yeah, you bastards. Then Abood goes home to make a phone call to the blobby Miss Atiat. Her cell phone ringtone starts playing a catchy melody. And I swear to God, that's it. That's the episode. The whole cast starts singing one of the greatest songs ever created over the beat of her ringtone. So basically, it's a love song about Mr. Saleh and Miss Atiat. For some reason, Abood's little sister is the main singer, and she absolutely kills it. Reminder, this was from the year 2000, way before T-Pain and way before Autotune became popular. They were way ahead of their time with this one. And then I lost my shit at this part. For some reason, during the bridge of the song, Mr. Saleh miraculously starts speaking perfect English.
I'm not that innocent. I'm not that innocent.
Overall, it's a pointless episode that doesn't advance the storyline whatsoever, but that fucking song is a work of art. Seriously. All right. Now one last episode before I wrap things up. So, the roly-poly Miss Atiat is coming out of a grocery store when a terrorist kidnaps her at gunpoint. He threatens to, quote-unquote, splatter her brains, so she cooperates. They then hijack the local school bus, kick Raju the driver out, and force one of the kids to drive or he'll splatter his brains as well. Damn, this guy's pretty f***ing graphic. The cops get wind of the dangerous terrorists in the city and begin to pursue them. Unfortunately, they only paid $80 for the cop car and it ends up breaking down. The hijacked bus makes contact with the car, injuring the occupants on board. Sadly, a pregnant woman and her husband were inside.
اسيبك ازاي؟ ده انا اسيب بابا وماما بس ما اسيبكيش. ده انت اغلى عندي حتى من البوكيمون.
The bus doubles back. The coward husband gets the hell up out of there, and the pregnant lady gets squished. Look at that. She's pregnant. The chase continues on a bit longer until Mr. Saleh gets involved, of course, and puts an end to the terrorists. In season 3, the boys move up to the 3rd grade, where Big Bubby Atiat becomes their teacher. It's not as ambitious as the other seasons, it's more of the same. Random wacky adventures and just on par with the rest of the series. Now, I know I breezed through these episodes and you can only cover so much when summarizing, but this show is actually kind of funny. Following its American counterpart, they stayed true and remain on brand. Shock humor, crude jokes, and even lots of tasteful racist moments. For example, there's a school board representative named Bonga Bonga. He's a black dude, he has a big ass nose, and he has a terrible African accent. Funny. Then there's moments like this, where an Asian family walks into the scene and they feel they need to play music like...
السلام عليكم. وين الأستاذ صالح؟
I like how they put together a formula and stuck with it for most of the series. The boys talk shit to each other while waiting for the bus. Raju, the bus driver, pulls up. The kids scream, "Last one on the bus is a mother of many children," aka a whore. Raju tells the kids not too much chit-chat. He crashes the bus right in front of the school. Then the boys have a wacky adventure. I like how they paid attention to the source material. Kenny, or Saloom, is still living in poverty, and he keeps dying. Hamoud is in love, not with Wendy, but with Sabika. And Abood, well, Abood is still a fat ass that nobody likes. I like their spin on Mr. Garrison. They made a toned-down version and gave him a great backstory. Mr. Saleh might just be the star of this show.
لا تشمر قايل الشيء اللي ما نفهم فيه لا نتكلم فيه فاهم افتح ايدك خنا سطرك سطار على وجهك يا البطة
مو بكيفك أنا ما سويت شيء.
To be transparent, I started this video with full intent of trashing the show and shitting all over it for being nothing more than a low-budget ripoff. But believe it or not, it's actually good. South Park was banned in Kuwait for poking fun at the religion of Islam. To fill the void in the country, Block 13 was created. It's alleged, and I say this because it's a rare show and I couldn't find any concrete evidence. Allegedly, the creator got permission from Paramount to go ahead and make the show. And it's not as if they tried to hide the fact they borrowed ideas. They were fully self-aware.
رفيق الله يخليك.
Yes, Mr. South Park. May I help you?
No, me no South Park. We قطعة 13.
So, now knowing this, does that still make Block 13 a blatant ripoff of the far more successful South Park? Yeah, it's still kind of a ripoff. But who the f*** cares? It's a good one. It's an enjoyable watch. Maybe the term ripoff isn't fair. Let's just call it an adaptation. If you can find the English subtitled version online, I'm telling you, man, go check it out. Doctor's orders. And that's it for today, guys. If you're still watching, I consider you my people, and I appreciate you. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and drop a like and consider subscribing. I have a bunch of other videos you might find interesting. Until next time, chase your dreams, do what you love, and fuck it. One more time. Jimmy, my music. I move in the nighttime. Shit, everything I do in the nighttime. Make one turn two in the nighttime. Zoom from that bright light. Move by my right side. Crew in the spot and it's like 2 o'clock. Wrist never been in cuffs, evident.